Okay. Thanks for pointing that out, Vel. I probably wouldn't have managed that without you. That's just OBS acting up again and just sort of setting my microphone to default settings, which aren't the ones I'm using. Glad to see you all here, though. Also, I really should stop boosting. That's not what we're here to do. So, gonna see how we fare here, and then probably just restart this. Again, going for gold medals. Bronze, that's not what we want to see. Not picking up mouth movements, that's... Give me a second. It seems apparently my PC doesn't seem to like my microphone very much. Yes, I know that it's not exactly the most professional, but then again, have many of my streams been professional up to this point? Somehow I doubt it. Also, I think we should at the very least be in a better situation here. Just gotta be sure not to boost at all. There we go, that's much better. I just gotta... I can just take my hands off the controller and just... as we cruise across the finish line. Yeah. Needless to say, the restrictions here are a fair bit more... I mean, the requirements here are a fair bit more strict, so just gotta try really hard in order to waste as little air as possible, methinks. Also spin like heck on this. Yeah, that's probably why. Just the PC not entirely picking up my microphone. It's definitely very annoying. The fact that I go entire streams of that and just miss out on all the quote-unquote jokes I have to make. It's kind of heartbreaking, especially the Mystery Dungeon one. I almost feel compelled to do that one again. Maybe, at some point. Oh. There we go, that looks like it's a little bit better. It's practically up to full. There we go, gold. Just wanted to check if... Okay, there's 5 missions. How to get beaten by that brat? I'll have a hard time falling asleep tonight. Grab 50 or more rings. In Waves missions, these were pretty easy. Here, I imagine, a little bit more advanced. Oh. That probably explains it. Jet's also here. This is the annoying parrot on my shoulder. As opposed to, you know, Chimkin. Hoping at the very least that this should be a fair bit less painless. Jet in shambles. Yeah, especially after free riders. It really is a shame too, because I'm pretty sure I mentioned this many times before, but especially with how Shadow may or may not be in the movie. I know a lot of people say that Shadow is basically the Vegeta of the Sonic series, which, I mean, in terms of powers and abilities, I put him more on par with Cell. If there was a Vegeta character in the Sonic series, I'd definitely say it's either Jet or Metal Sonic. Most likely Jet, because they also have a screechy voice. Alright, I think that was pretty good. Oh yeah, 100. Jet in shambles. Dang, my adversary gave me a hard time. I'm not used to not being number one. Okay. Gotta hit him with one or more attacks. I imagine, given the strategy I found out last time, maybe this will be easier. Oh, we're going in his knuckle. Let me try that again. Okay, that's one. Get back here, I'm not done with you yet. I think we have a slight issue here, considering obviously Knuckles isn't exactly built for speed. Let's try that again. One. Two. 3, there we go. Now we just gotta get to the end. And that's, I think, how you're meant to do those missions. Just cheese the ever-loving heck out of Jet and Bullion, which, to be fair, is something that I'm a-okay with doing, considering how interesting he is as a character. He really does look like the sort of person who would want to be, needs to be humbled, let's say. Kind of like Eris, really. Very much on his high horse. There we go. Hopefully the rest of those will be just as quick and painless. Okay. I was defeated by that red knucklehead. I never thought I could. Okay, so collect scattered junk and reach the goal. I imagine this will be awkward. Because of course you gotta get the stuff, and you gotta get it before Jet does. Here we are in Second Carnival. Actually, are these all gonna be in the same spots they were on the previous mission? I wonder. I mean, obviously, if we're in the lead and we miss one, he's bound to grab it, so just gotta make sure we grab all of them on the way there. It's kind of like a normal jump mission, except Jet is just here to throw me off. Bully Jet the moat. Yep, pretty much. Can't help but feel bad for him in a way, I guess. You know, he's supposed to be this great leader of the Babylon Rogues, and yet here he is just getting dunked on by a blue rat and his pet ferret. That's not what we want. He's not even going for the treasures. Come on, Jet, you're supposed to be the prince of all thieves. I'm definitely gonna keep calling him that, by the way, just to sort of get the point across. Also, that particular treasure there is annoying. It's just on a blind corner. I mean, I guess a fair few of these are on blind corners, but you get what I mean. It's just really difficult to see that one coming, and you don't really have much time in order to... There we go. Guessing there's another one over here that looks the same. That's not as bad. Not entirely certain as to how many treasures we actually need to get on this mission. I'm just sort of going with the flow of things. Oh, this is gonna be awkward, getting them on this monkey ball table. Yeah, for some reason I imagine that being a... or at the very least remember that being a fair bit more awkward. Also, I'm guessing there's some over here which are going to be awkward to get as well. Like one on a blind corner here. Yeah, I think that's all of them. Hip hip hooray. Wow, it's all 12 of those, huh? I suppose that's how you get the, I suppose the legend is the main one. The one that requires like a boatload of those. I guess I should be impressed. I have no chance of success unless I become stronger. More rings. Yeah, that's basically it, more rings. I don't exactly remember these missions being particularly egregious enough. There's just more stuff up until the final bout with Jet on mission 20. As we make him relive his ultimate failure of when he had to cheat in order to beat the X-World Grand Prix. Kinda weird that he didn't really get any repercussions for that. It's like, yeah, he cheated, but congratulations, you win anyway. You win the whole thing. You get Babylon Garden, you get the magic carpet, and then you just go off on your merry way despite having cheated to win. Seems like a very sort of Flynn Mall, really, about how it's absolutely okay to cheat to win. Also, I am not doing very well on this mission, am I? We haven't even got to 50 yet. Okay, now we've gone to 50. We may have to do this one again. Okay, we got... Get out of here, Jet. That was a literal photo finish. Also, heck yeah. Didn't think I'd actually get that one. That punk! That little punk! My adversary is causing me trouble on all the routes I tried to take. Alright. Again, these are like the hardest of the missions, these maintain the speed. Because there's all sorts of stuff that can easily just slow you down. Especially at the start. I suppose it's nice that at the very least it warned you, like, hey, you probably shouldn't be doing that. Also, I just realized I think we're on the high booster. Which is going to be awkward, since yes, it gives you a very big boost, but basically leaves you with basically nowhere after. Like, you see how much air I lost with that single boost? That's basically just the high booster. It has the best boosts in the game, but it comes at a cost. A lot of the gears are like that, where they're very good at one thing, but they do have a cost. You could see that coming, couldn't you? It's like, oh hey, there's a line of things in the way, so I can actually boost here and retain a fair bit of air. Nope, just into the pit with you. Somehow managed to get an X with that. I suppose that's one of those particular ramps where it's basically hard not to get an X.
Emergency alert. Emergency alert.
Yeah, that's basically how it goes.
Emergency alert.
Especially considering he's basically been made irrelevant after Free Riders, which... I suppose I do, in hindsight, kind of find it hilarious that it was on the Kinect, despite it being, I know you could say a lot of things about the Kinect, given how, certain videos have come out as sort of a greater retrospect. Oh, come on. That wasn't even funny. Yeah, greater retrospective of the Kinect about how a lot of games didn't really make full use of the Kinect's technology in order to provide the best experience and just sort of phoned it in a lot of the time with shovelware, which I would definitely consider Free Rider shovelware. More so out of spite than anything. Yeah, but so is Silver, but you don't see him in any other games. And heck, even in more recent stuff like Final Horizons and the movies, that particular boost pad was a trap. It's like in the Knuckles show, they basically gave Knuckles Silver's main antagonist, that being Iblis. And again with that. And in Final Horizon, they basically replaced Silver's psychic powers with Amy's weird mystic tarot card shenanigans. In what I can only assume is her sudden and unexplained class change from warrior to astrologer. It really feels like Silver really doesn't have a place in the series at this point. Oh yeah, it is funny. Just how much Silver has just been shafted on by basically the rest of the series. It does sort of remind me about how sort of around Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, the original one, apparently there was talks about Big as a character being retired. I'm not surprised they haven't done that with Silver yet. I mean, at this point I'd say they have grounds to, considering basically all the games in which he was debuted in, those being Rivals and 06, either have been scrubbed from canon altogether or just don't make sense in the grand scheme of things. Like, the obvious one here being 06. Which obviously got scrubbed from the timeline and replaced with Sonic solely on a holiday. Heck yeah. And then you have Rivals, which has Eggman Nega in it. Yes, I call him Nega, as a Sega. And yet he's also in in Rush, and they have two different origins. So clearly, either there's two Eggman Negas running around, or one of them isn't canon. I'd led to assume it's the one which has less sales, which, let's face it, is probably Rival. Also, I think... yeah, this is the AirTag one in Digital Dimension I was thinking of. I know there was one in here somewhere. Also, I'm imagining it's going to be fairly difficult to actually get air here, because wow. Look at all this stuff I need to dodge. Alright, I'm gonna be hard worked here. That wasn't worth it. Okay, this is how you do it. You just gotta abuse the grinding. I mean, obviously Big is like the joke character. He's sort of like... I suppose the best way I can think of it is he's sort of like Mr. Satan in the Dragon Ball universe, where he's just basically a normal guy thrown into this insane scenario. Yeah, the whole memeage thing is sort of led me to build up a little bit of resentment for Big over the years. I mean, going off of stuff like his portrayal in Adventure and Heroes, especially Heroes, I don't actually find him all that terrible. It's just the more modern depictions, especially in the 2010s, is just, yeah, I don't really want to see this character again. Which is a shame, because in Heroes and Adventure, Big is actually kind of likable. Like, I do like Big as a character, just not the memed up version of him. I suppose that's a that's something that's really come to my mind recently with regards to this series. Just pretty sure I've already mentioned this, but I miss the earnesty of it all. When all these characters were in situations where you could actually sort of take it. I know a lot of people hate for me to say serious, but serious in a similar way to something like I suppose, Resident Evil 2 on... Well, really just the Resident Evil trilogy in general, just how ridiculous a lot of it was with, you know, the dubbing and such, and yet still had a heartfelt sense of actually wanting to be serious about it. It wasn't all that cynical like basically a lot of the stuff basically from the 2010s were. I mean, I say stuff like Lost World is definitely kind of cynical in how it portrays a lot of things, which is true, but I could almost say the same about Frontiers as well. It's just this grim, dark, nightmarish landscape. That's not good. And especially in IDW, where you have all the characters crying and in these duress situations where you got the zombie apocalypse and everyone's dying. Or as close to dying as you can get in this series while it's still being appropriate for kids, which... I mean, I watched Thunderbirds as a kid. People got shot all the time. I think kids can deal with stuff like that. Like, especially... Well, then again, there was that moment where Eggman actually just puts a gun to Tango's head, which is kind of awesome and also hilarious. I really need to nail this particular jump. This is... For me, this is just the most annoying jump in the game. Let me see if I can actually make it this time. Probably not. Yeah, it really wants to incentivize you going for the top route, doesn't it? Alright, let's just... because I do remember this particular mission being quite annoying. It's partially why I remember this one. There's just so much stuff in it that you had to be wary of. I feel there's definitely something here I'm missing, though. Maybe just try going for these particular things here. I keep thinking their item boxes in their minds. Why did I do that? I suppose that's something that you can really say about a lot of Western media nowadays, where there's always this need to want to, you know, basically just subvert and not take things quite as earnestly as it means. I suppose the best way of putting it is faux intellectualism. Pseudo-intellectualism, that's it. You know, just basically want to look like, oh, we're so intelligent and so evolved beyond things such as honesty. Oh. We know not to take things seriously at all. You know, that sort of thing. I feel as though a lot of people are getting a bit more sick and tired of that, considering how prevalent that was in the 2010s, with everyone just playing it so tongue-in-cheek. With all the sort of infamous movie quips that you often see memed on, like, what are we, some sort of Suicide Squad? You know, that sort of thing. It really does feel like a lot of people are just sort of clamoring for that sort of earnesty and authenticity, really. Okay, just gotta make it across the finish line. I think we got enough. That felt good. But was it actually? What do you want from me, game? I know I said this was gonna take fairly longer. It's just wow. I didn't expect this level of perfection you're expecting from me. Okay, we got next there. Just gotta make sure to avoid absolutely everything. Then again, I think that might actually be the play. since we got a lot more air now than we did just going the top route, so maybe this is actually it. Yeah, that's basically it, Val. Just... it needs to seem tongue-in-cheek, like, yeah, we know this is silly, even though... that's a thing, really. I feel a lot of stuff that I grew up with, I knew it was still silly, but at the same time, it was honest and heartfelt about it. Like, I think the biggest one really is Power Rangers. Like, obviously, like, rest of the family looking in on it, it seemed like just ridiculous nonsense, but it was some of the coolest ridiculous nonsense I'd ever seen as a kid. There we go. Finally got it. I just realized something. Could this guy be going on instinct funny when I plan everything out? He's realizing the best course of action is to just not think. Alright, time to go beat up Jet some more. I'm not sure if this is going to be as easy as the last one, but I welcome it. Ah yes, Sega Carnival again. Screw that up at the start. Yes, exactly. That sort of fourth wall breaking, wink at the camera sort of stuff. It was funny to start off with. It's just sort of a... it's honestly like colors in a way, where it... did he just run into the... he just ran into the board, like... there we go, that's one. We'll wait for him to pass by again. Keep timing that wrong. I'm hoping at the very least more and more people are going to speak out about wanting more earnest and authentic entertainment, or at the very least showcase it in the fact that they're just going to go back to the old stuff, which I know you and me are more on board with, just especially with how more recent Sonic content has been put out. We're more just, yeah, if it's interesting, we'll peek in and have a look, but more so just we're fine in our own little corner, just enjoying ourselves over here. I'm pretty certain this gets a fair bit more difficult as we go on, actually. Come on, pass by. Excuse me. I think that just screwed up my entire run. There we go, that's one. Yeah, that's perfectly fair. Sort of on board with doing that as well, and admittedly, just enjoy what I can of the series, just peek my head in occasionally, see if it's any good. It does sort of remind me of my initial thoughts of the Sonic movies, actually. Just I was fine just sort of writing them off as their own sort of contained thing, because I'll be honest, I did it again. I'll be honest, in the context of actually viewing it side by side with the game, it's kind of, I don't want to say insulting, but definitely a showcase of out-of-touch Hollywood execs not really understanding how a game works. I mean, then again, you have the whole thing where any sense of world building and continuity in this series is practically in tatters. Okay, that's two. think I can get away with one more here. Or not. No. There we go, 3 out of 3, we're good. Really do gotta feel bad for Jet in these missions, just constantly getting beaten up, constantly getting upstaged. It really is like Jet's worst nightmare. And he has to go for it twice. Here and in Zero Gravity. Yeah, exactly, just treat them as their own separate thing and enjoy them for what they are, which... because there is some stuff in there which is definitely enjoyable. How? How could I be defeated by a little brat? I am the leader of the Babylon Rogues, the prince of all thieves. I cannot lose. Okay, reach the it's a matter of honor to win. Yeah, exactly, just, judge them on their own merits rather than in the context of... Also, what exactly is Jet using at the moment? I don't recognize that board. I mean, obviously, so far, it's not been too much of an issue. I've just been hitting him as always. You know nothing of Babylon Pride, Sonic! You ignorant fool! There we go, I think I got this in the bag now. See ya! There we go. That felt pretty good. But was it, though? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It's nice getting it in one go. Forget the honor. Any way I can win, I'll take it. He's been shadowed so much, he's willing to forego honor. Mission 1, catch up to a police car, take the treasure. I think I remember this one being annoying as well. Gotta see where this, there he is. Oh, look at that card, it just... The car just flew there for a second. Do you see that? As it was just descending. Just descending into the traffic. Yeah, of course he got no dignity. I guess it really shows that if the Babylon Rogues were a more modern inclusion, like, had they actually been introduced in IDW, you just know that Wave would have been the leader of the Babylon Rogues, hands down, and Jet would have just been a little boy toy, for lack of a better word. Just as little, like, urchin to point at and laugh sometimes. No, I couldn't reach the treasure, how could I have been misinformed? So, kind of surprised I got that one in one go as well. Grind 8 or more times. I think I recall this one being pretty rough. Then again, I don't really remember a lot of these missions. Just gotta go in and see what's what, it seems. Oh. Oh. Okay. Actually getting a little interesting with our grinding connections here, are we? Yep. Even now I still tense up whenever I have to make one of those jumps. It's been a long time since I played Zero Gravity. I want to actually see if the without grinding actually was better in that. Yeah, they definitely do have a good dynamic, it's just... At what point would that dynamic come at the expense of, let's just say, modern sensibilities? Like the fact that Amy can no longer just openly express her love of Sonic and has to act all, I suppose, timid about it, for lack of a better word. I mean, a lot of them discourse has obviously gone on about Amy with inclusion or lack thereof in movie 3. Obviously, I would like to see Amy reprise her role in Adventure 2, just to sort of make up for Chris stealing her thunder in X. Oh yeah, Modern Riding Wood Portrait especially. Just this sort of thing does make me wonder whether or not Sonic should just have Japanese writers in that case. People sort of better understand that sense of earnesty. And are actually there to tell a story. I'm sure you know what I mean. Oh, there actually is a treasure here. I didn't actually realize what... Also, yeah, I think I recall this one now. I wasn't sure whether or not I constantly got stuck on this one or the one earlier on in Storm's missions. I think it was this one. Especially just how tight some of these jumps are. It's definitely cool, not gonna lie, just... really gotta nail it with the timing. Also the fact that you can just do this up a waterfall, that's funny. I'm fairly certain I jumped there. I suppose on an unrelated note, I've always loved how the Blue Star 2 looks. Just like those flared exhausts at the back, it just looks like something Sonic would use. Just this big, extravagant sort of Formula One car aboard. Sort of like that one roadster he used back in Sonic Drift. You know, just a sort of big, extravagant, sporty thing. That was a pretty cool set piece, but yeah, I think that's all the rails. I think we've finally gotten this one out of the way. No idea what was in that treasure box, but... what do we know? Who knows? Not sure if we actually get anything out of that. What does this say about my skills? Jet is starting to question himself. Let's keep going. Okay, it seems like a lot of these are just advanced versions of those treasure chase missions from the end of Storm's schedule. You know the ones. They're just like, do it again, except on more advanced tracks. I'm coming for you! This robot really must just be begging for his life, like, no, please. I need to get this back to Robo Grandma. Ah! entirely certain whether or not I managed to make the gold on there, but I suppose we'll find out once we get to the end. Not entirely certain whether... Oh yeah, you can still go through there. I keep forgetting about that shortcut. Alright, let's see how badly I did. Boom. Knuckles looks so happy with himself with his massive fist there. Hey, gold medal. Yep, do it again, but difficult. Seems to be the name of the game with these, with extra free. What's that red echidna doing? He's mimicking that robot. Oh, this one. I remember this one. I remember there was an air ride mission in White Cave, which I struggled with immensely. Here it is. Very certain nailing these ones is fairly easy. I think the main thing, just like with Twinkle Park, is just... There's a treasure on here which I need to get, and... Getting it... Like that, you see. It's kind of difficult to line yourself up properly without just plummeting to the earth. Yeah, I keep forgetting he did that, the full emotional matrix thing. It really is just the perfect example of why was I programmed to feel pain. I suppose it does sort of add credence to Eggman's villainy, the fact that he's willing to have... It is basically like Sonic is just going out and killing these robots with thoughts and feelings without remorse. Seem to be doing fairly good so far. Oh, there's the treasure. Maybe it was the Green Cave one I struggled with. But I think we should be good. Why do I... Oh yeah. Why do I feel... That one mission from Generation is like... Why? Why did you decide to do that for Rouge? I mean, I know she's an agent and stuff, but... The fact that the robots can actually feel lost is just... Oh, Jet's sick of having to use flight-type gear. That is kind of hilarious thinking about it. Okay. Another Junks mission here in Night City. Sorry, it was Night Chase. Also, what happened there? I just bumped off the geometry and just bit the dust. Also, I'm about to run out of rings. Yeah, I'm just gonna try that again. I mean, if that one episode of Sonic X is anything to go by, Eggman certainly has an eye for the Bat's particular do-laps, let's just say. Also, I just keep bumping my head on that particular ramp there. I need to stop doing that. There we go. Just concentrating a little bit here. Okay, we're going this way. This really does bring me flashbacks of the opening to this game. Also, I need to stop doing that. Eggman likes Latinas. Same with Shadow then, I suppose. So much so, he's willing to just steal Sonic's passport. Except, apparently Sonic has a passport. Despite basically being a hobo. I mean, I suppose even Sonic would need a passport in this day and age, but... That is kind of funny to think about, the fact that Sonic has a passport. This one's going to be fairly tricky. Okay. All 12. Nailed it. So that, with almost an hour in, basically, and again with those 12 treasures, huh? I'll have to check if I can actually buy anything at this point. I was totally focused this time, but I lost. Should I admit defeat? No, not yet. No, we still can't buy anything here, unfortunately. Look at that, we almost have enough to actually... enough of the purple ones to actually buy the legend. It doesn't stay in one place for more than a day. Except apparently he just crashes at Tails' house, and he has just a stockpile of beans and franks. And bread rolls. Okay, another one of these stone statue missions. My favorite. Oh, hey, Cat. I'm surprised to actually see you on one of these. Yeah, I do remember this mission doing fairly awkward. Just gotta get down these as soon as possible, methinks. Oh, so that's how it goes. Oh, I got it! I thought I just flopped it up right at the start, but apparently not. Let's see if I actually get the gold from that. Sonic the actual hobo. It just sort of reminds me of the Crushing in Your 30s music video where he has a stubble. Do you really want to see that? Sonic with a stubble? I feel among all the other stuff that's just... among all the other stuff, the weird stuff on DeviantArt and certain other art pieces that I've seen here and that, that might actually be the one thing that taints my childhood the most. Okay. Search the palace roof. I think this is Sky Road. Yep, it's Sky Road. Who could have possibly thought? Oh, it's actually showing you, yeah, you can just abuse speed-type characters on this particular level. Yeah, just start off with a head start immediately, just by jumping in the right spot. Also remember this one being particularly annoying. Then again, that's just the grind levels in general, I think. Just the fact that you really have to be dead on with when you time your jumps. Camera doesn't help either. Gotta say, despite me messing up, when you actually do it right, it actually is pretty cool to look at. Like, him just going up a waterfall, defying physics, and just zooming around all these towers. It is a cool spectacle, which I definitely appreciate, given how the series is with spectacle. But again, that does sort of make me wonder, how exactly are they going to one-up the Titan fights from Frontiers? Because that was like one of the most spectacle things we've really ever seen from this series, and they're gonna have to do a fair bit in order to one-up that every single time. Also, I just realized there was a stray pixel on that number 2 there. I'm not sure if you could see this, now it's gonna bug me forever. I'll see if I can point it out. I'll concentrate a little bit more. There, you see? That stray pixel. My childhood has been ruined. Oh, so this is annoying me now a little bit. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm fairly certain at the very least Tournament Edition removed that rail at the start of Skyroad, just so Speed-type characters don't have an insane level of advantage at the start, because that is a ridiculous shortcut, you must say. Also, that is fairly cheap. That is fairly cheap. That... Well, the way this level is set up, it's basically super difficult to actually see a fair few of these coming. I think this is the last one. Yep. It just drops me off neatly at the end. One stray pixel day ruined. Since I remember that was also a thing in Sword and Shield with the Corviknight taxi animation. And I'm fairly certain also just the fairly bad job on the ring texture for the Shadow the Hedgehog HUD. What awesome skills! I didn't really have a chance. Can we really win? He's doubting himself. Also, destroys 7 stone statues in a row again. I feel we're just going to be spending ages on a fair few of these. Also, Babylon Guardian. Okay, it's more just sort of a threading the needle sort of ordeal, okay. Boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room. I didn't realize there was a 4th one there. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. I want you in my... Forgot to boost that. It's annoying as well, because these are sort of the more simplistic ones, just... And here I am just getting annoyed at myself. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room. We'll spend the night together from now until forever. It is kind of weird, but that song is still weirdly nostalgic to me. Even before the Reggie name. There we go. Now that's what I want to see. Wow. When I see skills like that, it astounds me. Seize Tower. No idea what Seize Tower is, but more air riding. Is this also going to be on Sky Road? Let's find out. As I take a little swig from some nondescript... Oh, it's Sega Illusion. Okay. I think I remember this one also being annoying. But just how you had to properly aim your board. Fairly easy to miss some particular dash rings. I know it's probably not what they're actually supposed to be called, but I just keep calling them dash rings because of Sonic Adventure. Speaking of which, I do kind of feel compelled to actually stream the GameCube version at some point now that I can. Also, oh, we're going into the mountains. Full uncharted territory right here. It is kind of hilarious though, just how easy the air riding, the dash rings are to manage a little. let me start again. Flying type and power type characters have it so much easier with their shortcuts compared to speed type characters. All you have to do is just pass through the obstacles, where you have to do this thing with speed type characters. Oh, Glossy Adventure DX, yeah. Where every single character has been doused in baby oil before coming out. We'll beat him by using all our powers as the Babylon Rogues. This is it, the final mission. The last battle with Jet, Wave, and Storm. I remember this one being pretty tough. But we are on Sky Road, so let's see if I can actually abuse the level here. Oh, they took away the grind rail. So it's just gonna be me and my instincts as a gamer. This is the culmination of everything we've been working towards these past few streams. We cannot afford to lose here. Also, I just realized our air supply here seems rather low, so I guess we're just gonna have to try that again. Taking this a little bit more seriously now. Now I'm serious! I ran right into that bomb. Well, does sort of bring up an interesting question whenever I do end up streaming Adventure 2, which I'm planning on doing just later this year, just sort of as a build-up to the movie. PC version or GameCube version? Because both options are available to me now. PC version obviously has mods, and obviously I'm going to be playing that with Japanese voices, because that's what I did with the adventure streams. Or do I just go with the GameCube version in English? There we go, just in time for me to win the race. No idea as to whether or not I've gotten a gold from this, but we're about to find out! Give it to me. Yeah! It's over! And for our troubles, we get Ooh La La, Knights, and the Chaos Emerald, and some new stuff added to the shop. Opa Opa, the Crazy, and Hang On and Super Hang On. Mission completed, you got all the gold emblems. Now, battle him fairly, and I have no regrets. But I'll beat you someday, Kakarot. I mean Sonic. Yeah, that's basically all the missions. There are definitely fewer than I was expecting, but a fair few of them definitely made up for it in difficulty. Normally I would just go into normal races and showcase all the stuff there, but like I've been saying all this time, I have 100% save file in my back pocket, so we're just going to load up that one so I can actually showcase everything that's unlocked, because you definitely need to grind a fair bit to get all the gears. Suppose this would also be a nice little showcase of everything else I missed. So, before that, excuse me, nondescript brown drink coming back on me. We're gonna go into the theater. Obviously, we've all seen these. What I want to start off with is the tutorial, which for some reason I'm only now getting to. I meant to do so, but it's good to cover all your bases. Sonic Riders is a new type of racing game. Catch up with rivals by riding on their turbulence. What is turbulence? Turbulence also has other benefits, so take full advantage. Perform tricks when you see arrow. Air system in Sonic Riders. Press B to boost. But be careful, it consumes a lot of air. Use this on tight corners, control stick and R button. This allows you to navigate sharp turns effectively. Drop a tornado when rivals are closing in. You will never need to use this. It's very situational, but it's here, so you can try and trap them momentarily. But don't use them too often. Otherwise you'll run out of air and be running across the track like an idiot. To avoid running out of air, perform tricks. Gain air by using the A button. Release the button at the right time on trip ramps, and jump! Your trick ranking determines the amount of air you gain. Try to cross the starting line just as the countdown is complete. Otherwise you'll look like an idiot. Type skills. Jump using A. Press A again to land on a rail. Flying type. Use the control stick to boost yourself in the air and fall down like a lead weight. Knock down obstacles on the track as a power type. It's the easiest and most foolproof one to do. Now, are you ready? Get ready for the challenge and let the race begin. I used to watch that a little too often. For some reason. Anyways, Gear Gallery. For some reason they just have this, and you can just look all over the pretty pictures. Here we have the Blue Star by Robotnik Corp. Speed type, light type, power type. Meaning Tails didn't actually make all these boards, but just bought them from a vendor made by Eggman. Speed's type for women. I love how they have to specify that. Obviously Babylon Standard, Speed... all made by Wave, obviously, because... I think she's the closest thing to... No, I'd say Blaze and Rouge are also in that field. Also for women. Flight type for children. Because apparently Charming wasn't allowed in this game. Astounding boost ability, but doesn't measure the downsides. Also air slide when cornering. I've never actually tried this, I'm guessing it just feels super alien. Powerful gear, works well even on poor roads. Powerful gear, fastest turbo star, all gears that you would get from the Babylon mission mode treasures. Basically being upgrades of powerful gear, fastest, and... Let me see if I can find it here, actually. I know it's around here somewhere. Where are you? There. Yeah, there's power gear. There's faster. And here it is, accelerator. Basically just an upgraded version of that. Tails isn't a kid. Apparently not, according to certain artwork I've seen. No comment. Speed balancer. Works well on straight roads. I tried this off stream, and yeah. Cornering wise, it is abysmal. Blue Star 2, also not made by Tails. The Access, which of course allows any character that can utilize it to fly, so flying type characters are gonna get shafted. The Beginner, which consumes little air, good for beginners. The Accelerator gives you better acceleration. Trap Gear can execute unlimited tornadoes. Fairly situational. The Light Board, which as I've already illustrated is the best board in the game, with how you're just able to retain your speed. The Slide Booster, which can execute consecutive slides. This is another one which I've admittedly not really toyed around with much. The Legend has high air level ability, in that you basically just automatically do the best jump while going off a ramp. It still doesn't get back any air, by the way. The Magic Carpet, which is a flight type gear, meaning if you use it you can also fly. The Air Broom, which for some reason it doesn't allow you to fly but instead grinds. The Hovercraft, which I already went over, it's uncontrollable. The Chaos Emerald, an emerald that holds an ancient power, only usable by Sonic and not Shadow for some reason. There's the Faster, which has a higher top speed. The Gambler. This, whilst expensive in the shop at 4,000 rings, is basically what you use if you want to actually grind up the rings, because as far as I'm aware, if you win a race, it basically doubles the payout of any rings you have. So if you win a race with 100 rings, you get 200 rings. Meaning the best way I found in order to actually get rings is to just use this and go through the World Grand Prix a bunch of times. Powerful gear, endurance enhanced, meaning it's good off-road. Opa Opa, which just has a unique attack, as far as I'm aware. You basically just hit someone with a 20-ton weight like a cartoon. The Crazy, this one's pretty interesting, uses rings instead of air. Basically the same as the Chaos Emerald, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Night Sky, which is basically just Knights' unique gear from Twin Seeds, only for a Nightmarean. Banana gear found on Jungle Island, because apparently they have technology to allow you to make flying bananas on Monkey Island. And of course you just have the base gears used by the E10,000 models. We'll get to them. Channel 5, only for reporters. So that's Oolala's unique. Berserker, I will admit I haven't really tried this one too much. I don't remember it being very good, though. The E-Rider, of course. High performance, but burns too much air. And Air Tank, which is the opposite. Heaviest gear in existence. For some reason, that's an old thing that just stuck with me. The Destroyer, which basically grants non-power type characters the ability to bust through walls. The Omnipotence, which grants you all skills, but I don't think you get any air back from doing any of the shortcuts. Then the Cover Gears, which I'm fairly certain are just sort of there. I'm not entirely certain what these particular bikes are about. I'm guessing they're more so to cover the weaknesses of certain types of characters. Like obviously here you have the speed characters known for having high top speeds, and these have higher acceleration and a better off-road, whilst obviously the flight type gears have way more have a much higher top speed limit, I guess, to make up for the lack of a top speed limit normally, and the same with the Cover P. The Cover P, whilst being cheap, is actually just a direct upgrade, as far as I'm aware, from the E-Rider. Then there's the Hang-On, we'll get to that later. It has a little particular quirk, even though its stats are. As well as the Super Hang-On, these two have a fairly unique quirk, which we'll see once we actually get into them. Shadow's unique gear, which obviously just burns less air. The Grinder, basically just boots that allow you to grind. And I think Advantage S, which more so is the opposite of the Cover Gears, in which they just sort of exemplify or compound on the particular type of character's greatest strengths. So as you can see here, you get a much higher speed limit with Advantage S, much higher acceleration with Advantage F, and better off-road capabilities with Advantage P. Then there's the Cannonball, which has the worst stats in the game but can perform constant boosts without limiting your air too much. It's not worth using. That being said, let's try some of these newfangled gears out. We'll just mostly be going over the interesting ones now, and if we have time, I may have a certain treat in order to showcase, just as a means of covering all my bases, for lack of a better term. We'll start off in Splash Canyon. want to go... Let's go Shadow. We'll start off with the Crazy. Actually, no, let's use the Crazy in Sega Carnival. That makes more sense. Well, this is also a perfect opportunity to showcase the E10000 models. E10000G, which I think, aside from Cream, has the worst stats in the game. Just the normal Mook robots you race at the start of the game. You get these mostly just from having lots and lots of playtime, which unfortunately we don't have time for. So we'll start off with the Crazy. With his funny little squeaky voice there. And we'll see just how effective racing like this is. As we ride on a miniature version of what is basically a car. At this point, it's just a reaction to just restart as soon as I fumble out the gate like that. So, I guess in order to make up for it, you start off with 50 rings. They drain over time, especially if you do stuff like grinding and especially boosting. From what I recall, you lose a fair bit when you boost. So I keep forgetting that this is not the power type, despite it being orange. Say, look at that, just boom, 15 rings gone. Also, I think to make up for it, you're basically just just at level 1. I thought you were at level 2, but I guess not. Because, obviously, you don't have an air meter, and you're basically running on rings the entire time, you don't really adhere to the leveling system, so... I guess because of that, the performance is actually kind of good on the Crazy, though I think it's more so just a funny Easter egg here, more than anything else. Just, hey look, Sega reference, back when Sega was actually not afraid to showcase more of its IPs than Sonic. Would be nice if there was some Golden Axe here, though. Also, as you can see, the Crazy obviously works better on certain levels where you're actually able to get more rings. This isn't exactly the best example. Just thought it would be nice to bring it here because, hey, it's the Sega level full of Sega Easter eggs. It's basically right at home. And now I'm going to have to work as hard as I can in order to actually win, so if you'll excuse me. I'm not going to bother with the shortcut this time, I'm just going to go for the thing. It would be nice if you actually got rigs back by doing that. Oh, out of rings. And I'm basically out of the race, so we'll just do the best we can. And just see what we can do to actually make it home. I'm not sure whether or not those models are actually just ripped straight from Crazy Taxi. I wouldn't be surprised. Sprint to the finish! Sprint! Nicely done. And we get 0 rings for our efforts. Hooray! What other gears do I want to showcase? I mean, obviously we gotta go for the hang-ons. So, we'll do Sega Carnival again, but this time we're gonna go with Shadow, because bike. And this is the hang-on's main party piece. It has base stats, but you get a nice little song to go with it. Also, the bike is apparently moved by telekinesis. Even back in 2006, Silver was getting shafted. It's almost comedic at this point, just... oh, Dark Continent. This is hilarious, just how much Silver's just... just been sort of hazed out of the greater, series at this rate. I know a lot of people like Silver, and I'd be happy to see him redeemed in some manner, but I also wouldn't be surprised if he just was just sort of benched as a character for good. You know, just that, you know, he doesn't really fit the Sonic series as it is going, and honestly, we don't really have much to do with him compared to characters who he can actually fit into games like the Chaotix, so we're just sort of scrapping Silver. Just have fun with him in fan projects. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point the series ends up going that route with regards to Silver, because I do still feel that despite all the goodwill the fans have towards him, Silver as a character I still feel, at least in the minds of general audiences, is kind of tainted after 06. I mean, I know it's been 15 years, but that was his debut game, and the game people know Silver most for. Honestly, I'm still surprised that 06 was in one of the movies that Paramount was allowed to adapt. Don't really have much to say at this point, just sort of vibing to the music. I'm fairly certain this is a rendition of the main theme of the original Hang-On arcade game. That's obviously what it's based on, as I do know for a fact that Hang-On was an arcade game. Never got the chance to play it, but I know it exists. That being said, I would be down to trying it sometime, if I get the chance. Somehow Shadow can just spin on a bike like that and not just immediately wipe out. Okay, next up, the Super Hang-On, and I think to mix things up a little bit, we're going to go Sega Illusion and Rouge. Oh yeah. It even fits our coloring, sort of. Fairly certain this is also... I'm led to assume that there was a another version of Hang-On called Super Hang-On, which this is named after, which has this as a theme. I haven't really heard much about this one, but that's what I'm led to assume about it. I do like the fact, though, that these two gears also made an appearance in Riders Zero Gravity. Though because of the way gears work in that game, they were basically just compounded into one gear. But I can't remember exactly whether or not they actually had stat changes at all to make up for it. Trying to think of other gears we can possibly showcase. I mean, it's, you know, before we go over to the big one, the one I'm most excited to actually showcase. I will say, though, I definitely miss these sort of Sonic and Sega crossovers. So that makes me feel bad that I never actually played All-Stars Racing Transformed. Mostly because, aside from this, I've never exactly been the biggest advocate of kart racing games. Mostly because most of that comes from Mario Kart, which Well, you know, Mario Kart, the destroyer of friendships. I've really found it the most enjoyable experience, admittedly. I think we just go for this. Yep. That's how you get the 100 ringer there. And almost like that, we're basically just blazing ahead now. It is a weird sort of thing, though, because rolling over these tracks again, I keep wishing there were more of them, but then I think back to the mission mode and just sort of thankful that there were as few as there were. 'Cause, again, 40 whole missions to go through. Each. For a total of 100. I mean, 100 was definitely sort of the, a good capping off point, I'd say. And of course, if you fall off, you lose all your ratings. You really hate to see it. You know what, though? I actually feel compelled to actually try out the Opa Opa gear before, we shift over to something else. I'm gonna go Sega Illusion again. We'll go with Cream since she's likely to get overtaken, and we'll go with the Opa Opa gear. Starting to think I probably should have not picked a flying type character again. Ah well. At least we get to see the funny 10-ton weight, potentially. I gotta say though, it's definitely a cute looking gear. You know, with the little wings on the sides. I'm also thinking with a certain video that's come up recently with regards to the PlayStation iToy, I kind of feel bad that I missed out on the chance to just play Sonic Superstars, because that actually looks kind of fun. Considering the iToy actually works better than the Kinect somehow. Like, could you imagine if the original Sonic Riders actually had iToy integration? That would have just been the most bizarre thing, I wonder. Also, we are basically way in the lead now, so I'm going to hold back here so we can actually see if we can showcase the funny, unique attack. Wave, can you overtake me, please? Thank you. Oh no. I wasted too much air. Also, Rouge, you're a perfect candidate. Please let me get some more air. Thank you, level 3. Oh yeah. If you manage to ride the turbulence, you just go up in the rings just like in Knights normally. I think me getting cocky there is going to cost me the race. Come on, Wave, I'm not done with you yet. It's kind of a shame you can't really use this in the survival mode. Actually, that's one thing I never showcased, did I? The multiplayer survival mode. I'll have to see if it actually still works one player. Aw, Cream did a little bit of a tizzy there. No, you're not gonna knock me into the thing. Donk! I finally got it with the donk. Yeah, that's, the Opoba's unique thing. Just a unique attack that you can use. That wasn't worth it. Just thinking what other stuff I can showcase at the moment. May as well have a little look at the multiplayer. Or at the very least, the survival mode. Partner up with another friend, share energy completing a race. 1 to 4 players. I suppose we can give this a little shot. We'll go... Oh, you can actually choose your gear here. We'll go... The Legend. Just to showcase it off. It's not a very good gear, but... I figured it'd be worth showing off. Still have no idea what this is all about, so let's just get into it. So yeah, not really sure what I kind of forgot what the whole deal with this mode is in particular. I know that there's something to do with particular types of turbulence. Also, I like how they just removed a lot of the vehicles here. Here I come. Alright, I think that's the whole thing. I guess in order to make this level work properly, they just removed the top level. Get out of here, Tails. Come on, Shadow. Oh no, I'm only getting 3 bars. Shadow, our reception here is terrible. Yeah, admittedly I never really got what these particular types of races were about. I guess it's just a fun little side thing. Little thing to do when you have more than one friend. Also, just keep bumping into the ramp there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Gotta be sure not to burn out there, or else I'm gonna die. Also, I'm not sure whether or not it's just how this particular sort of thing works, but the Legend doesn't seem as terrible here. But granted, I'm fairly certain it's more... Aww. Shadow got too far behind and now we're losing. We lost reception and now we're dead. Yeah, that's basically tag modes. Fun little casual thing, I guess. Survival mode. We have race stage, which throughout the Chaos Emerald pass through the gates. We can try this out, and considering it's Chaos Emeralds... Oh wait, survival mode, you're only set to your default gear, I forgot. Well, we can showcase this off, I think. We'll do 1 race of each and then just move on to the last gear I want to showcase, and then I think given the time we'll just... There's the Chaos Emerald. Get the Chaos Emerald, pass through the rings. I passed through the rings and the Chaos Emerald got stolen off of me, what gives? Did I mess up? I think I messed up. Also, no high routes in this particular mode again, just... Okay, just looks like they're going back and forth, just fighting over the... Up. Cream's got it now. I'm just sort of stuck here at the front, wondering what I'm doing with my life. Let's try this again. Make sure I haven't just got this completely wrong. There we go, that's what I want to see. Knights. Well, so it seems that you default to being at level 2. Whilst you're going through all this stuff. I want to try and at least win one race. So it looks... Oh. I think that explains. The Chaos Emerald for some reason just drains your air. I will admit I never really tried that when I was younger. What I did mostly was, actual, what is it? Battle stage. In which we have 3 unique stages to pick from. We'll go with Amy. Because why not? And we'll just showcase some of the stuff going on in here. Welcome to Dual Towers. Just so it looks like your average day in Birmingham. So it's fairly simple. You just gotta go around here hitting each other until your health runs out. You also have power-ups around the states to help you on your way. I feel got speed and attack, meaning I move faster and are able to hit people for more damage. Like, I basically just wiped out Eggman there. Attack level 3? Let's see if I can find Storm. Get over here. It's time for your beating way earlier than zero gravity. Whomp. And almost like that, it's just me and Tails right away. And what is... Storm just blinking out of existence right there. I'm gonna go get the guard. Just because it's right there. And just sort of play cat and mouse with Tails with it, I think. The other ones I think are for your air tanks, so you run out of air less. Let's have a look at it. Air pack level 1, so we have more air to work with. Hello, Tails. It's time for your paddling. I'm not done with you yet. Get back here, Fox. Come on, get over here. One more to go, and we seem to be doing quite well for ourselves here, because I remember there's a particular thing that occasionally happens. Also, is that a shovel? I think one of the powers is literally just a shovel. Oh, attack level 2. I have 2 shovels. You have no chance against me now. Oh, yeah. There it is. These stages also have stage hazards. Here, you just get attacked by crows which swoop in. Let's go have a look at the other one. Dual Towers, I think, is sort of the most simplistic one to understand. Next is Snow Valley. I'm just thinking, this is the perfect chance to actually showcase some of the other characters we got. And let's start with Ai, because he's a fighter on his Nana. I'm surprised a lot more fan projects don't really make use of these dual maps. Even as just simple HUDs. Sorry, hubs. Also, I do love the booster tail effect you get here. Look at that. Hello, ooh la la. Goodbye, ooh la la. I need to get to an X thing real quick. So I love the fact that I's boost abilities just run at people really fast. I mean, I know he's got his actual monkey ball there, but... Oh, wow. Yeah, basically the main thing there is that there's a snowman occasionally that... You know, I'm not gonna take that lying down. Let's try this again. Using our favorite Nighttopian this time. Most thing I kind of want to do here is just stay alive until the stage hazard shows up. Also, I love the fact that Night just floats. You know, it just floats. Highway, byway. Yeah, it's just I'm thinking, in terms of like ice environments, this is definitely one of the more unique ones. I feel it just sort of reminds me of Shiva's arena in Final Fantasy XIV. I think it's mostly just the general wintry aesthetic and the holographic snowflakes here. I like it. Still not 100% certain as to when the thing shows up. Also, I just noticed that the power-ups are still just using the bases of the standard item capsules. That's kind of cute. Also, Storm's over here. Get over here, Storm. You're too dangerous to be left alive. So, not entirely certain whether or not tornadoes actually damage. I'm sorry, Cream, I must do what needs done. Also, oh wait, it's Wave. Still need to contend with you, I think. Also, what is this snowman about to show up? I know he's supposed to show up, but where? I remember it being rather frightening when he does as well. So, gotta keep on the lookout. Also, yeah, this particular track goes for all 3 of the battle stages. I would have kind of preferred if they all had their unique tracks, but I do kind of get that, you know, this is a fairly more obscure... Oh. I think that's a more rare power-up exclusive to this, which just sort of, makes you invisible. Where's Storm? Where's anybody, actually? There you are. I'm fairly certain I boosted in. There we go. No. Needless to say, this isn't really the highlight of the game. It's just a neat little side thing you can do sometimes. I do definitely appreciate it, but obviously it's not the main event, as it were. Look at these two just arguing amongst themselves. Also, I kind of find it funny here that it's just Wave and Storm after the argument they had back in story mode. fact we're just sort of sitting here with just running around while not much is happening. I would have thought the snowman would have arrived at some point, but I guess it's more so when it's down to the final two. It's been a while since I've played any of these, so I'm not 100% certain. Just swimming around, trying to actually hit some... There we go. Storm's out. It's glitching out of existence. Can I please get some more air? Right, I'm just waiting for the snowman to show up. I know the snowman's supposed to show up eventually. I'm not imagining things. Maybe I have to get here, actually, so... Oh, there he is. Here comes Egg Snowman. Look at him. He actually... I suppose it's obvious, but I do love the fact he actually does look like Eggman. I think it mostly just blocks off areas and sometimes jumps. I do remember it jumping. Oh, there's two of them. And they even have little crystal crowns there, look. Alright, Wave, let's wrap this up. That admittedly went on a little longer than I was expecting, so I think we'll just show off Space Fear. So I think the least well-known one of the bunch, at least to me. Let's have a look at Ulala. I think the tallest, or at least second tallest member in the cast besides Eggman. And how fitting we're on a space theater with Space Channel Lady. I think the main thing here, aside from the electric gates, is some of the platforms get taken away by the UFO effect. So we're just gonna have to tread carefully, I think. So I was gonna do something, but I think given the time, I think it's safer for me to just simply wrap up sooner rather than later. So I think I'm gonna end up putting out a poll as to whether or not you want me to showcase Riders DX. It'll probably be a shorter stream, but it'll be nice to sort of cover the bases. Also, I really need to fill up on air. There we go. Also, wow, Tails is just dead. I think, yeah, I'm gonna be focusing on the robot since he has the most health. Oh, yeah. Sometimes platforms just get stolen away like that, so you gotta be careful. I do reckon these would have at least played better on multiplayer, just the sheer chaotic nature, similar to something like the mech levels from Adventure 2. Also, Jet's dead. It's just you and me, robots. Not exactly the most thrilling gameplay, I must admit. Oh. He just ended himself. Not entirely certain what the UFO actually does up there. I think it either just takes away platforms or just laser beams. Not 100% certain. Anyways, I think we're just gonna do 4 more quick races back to back. Just to show off knights, you know what? We've already seen these three. May as well show them one more time just to get all the bases out of the way. We'll do these three, then the final gear I wanted to showcase, and then we'll finish. And then I'll throw out the poll, and we'll see where we go from there. So knights, as you can probably see by the fact that they're flying, is a fly type character. Honestly, I think the fastest fly type in the game. Either her or Rouge, weirdly enough. Regardless, in terms of characters, from what I recall, Knights is definitely one of the better ones, which I'm guessing you probably would expect, given she also has mascot power, besides Sonic, who is the fastest. I'm going to try and showcase some of their trick names as well if I can. Otherwise, what's the point? I will say though, Knights definitely has the coolest boost animation. I mean, I say that, it's basically just, that. Which does admittedly kind of remind me of Shadow's boost animation in... Well, I suppose it would be Forces, wouldn't it? I was going to say Generations. Even though Knights admittedly doesn't exactly feel the most easy to corner with. Dimension and Mischief. That seems pretty on brand for Knights. I will admit though, Knights is one of those games which I'm not entirely certain whether or not it's just the Steam version or not, but I did admittedly kind of struggle to get into it. I did, however, watch the cutscenes for Knight's Journey into Dreams for the Wii, and needless to say, I did get a little bit of a chuckle out of some of the performances there. It was certainly mid-2000s video game voice acting, that's for sure. Performance is not quite good enough to... Just that correct level of not good enough to really get a laugh out of it. Let's see what else we can do with... Oh yeah, Knights and I believe can use all the gears. So you could potentially just have Knights in skates. For now though, let's go... Probably should have gone I on the one of these hang-ons actually, so we'll just go for the cover P. I isn't even touching the handlebars. You did see that, right? His hands were just sort of like a good few inches below the handlebars. Monkey bars. Seems on point. Also, yeah, II's main thing, aside from being a power type, is because he's from Monkey Ball, his dash is also from Monkey Ball. So it's kind of satisfying using it to just run for everything, just like, get out of the way! I'm late for a very important meeting! The bus broke down and now I have to run. It's hilarious to actually see it as well with stuff like the light board. Like, look at him go. He is just sprinting to work. Oh, just like I need to sprint all the way to, get some more air. I was having too much fun just running all the way to work. do it again. So, as far as I'm aware, I think I have to check exactly the unlock requirements. It wasn't really as big of a deal for me because I just unlocked them all at once, but they are basically tied to the mission modes. I think one of them you have to get all the missions with at least bronze rank, one with silver rank, one with gold rank. You know what? After this race, I'll just quickly check. So next we can finally do Ooh La La and then wrap up with arguably the best character in the game. I say arguably because there's a little bit of a caveat. So let me just quickly have a look here. Because I know for a fact that, let's see. So you get II for just finishing all the missions. You get... Okay, I think you just get, let's see, Knights for completing all the missions. I think you just get the free characters just for completing all the missions on any sort of medal requirements. There aren't really any medal requirements for unlocking these three, you just gotta actually unlock the stuff. So, you know what? I think since we're here, we'll go... Oh, this will be fun. Babylon Garden. With II, and we're gonna use the Advantage S. So we can just have Ooh La La just boosting along in roller skates. Not the most becoming, I must say. But after this, I have to feed the cat, so we really have to make this quick. Those actually do kind of look stylish on her. That actually fits her color scheme a little bit. That's fine, we can just go. Space time. This must be so bizarre to see. Also, I think Ooh La La actually has a gun, which he just pulls out to shoot people with for her run-up attack. I will admit I've definitely lost count. No comment there about how she was just holding on to that. I was gonna say it is kind of weird given just how many times I've gone through all these tracks. It really is that similar case to Sonic R where you kind of wish there was just more to it. Actually, I kind of want to see if I can do Sonic R again just in one sitting, because I've done it before. Just completed Sonic R in one sitting. Oh hey, yeah, that's, I'm guessing it makes more sense. I will admit Space Channel 5 is a series which is still rather obscure to me. All I really know about Space Channel 5 is it exists. That's what we're working with here. I know it's a thing, I know it's a Sega IP, and that's pretty much it. I love Ooh La La's expressions, though. It's just like, oh, did I do that? Did I do that? In fact, I'd say a lot of the characters here are just super expressionless. Space Michael Jackson. Yeah, that's definitely seems on brand. I know that Japan really was quite a big fan of Michael Jackson, which does actually kind of remind me a little bit. This is something that I've admittedly fought for quite a while, but I do kind of wish that the Sonic series would sort of respect its Michael Jackson-esque roots a little bit more. The most we got, I believe, was just sort of Sonic's little moonwalking colors. I reckon we could have a little bit more than that, considering how much of an inspiration on Sonic as a character Michael was. It only seems fair to me, to be honest. Alright, and with that, let's finally wrap this up with the one thing which I've been holding off on this whole time. We're just gonna go Metal City, because I think it's the best track to really showcase this particular racer's traits. I'm gonna go all the way over here, past all these, in order to get to... Yeah, I suppose that's fair. Yeah, Chaos Emerald. See those stats? They're only comparable to the hovercraft. And, Emerald that holds an ancient power. Let's see what happens. Oh, he's the Super Saiyan. Heck yeah. Needless to say, this is one of the more powerful characters in the game. So, let's just say they've had to balance it a little bit compared to Sonic. Super Sonic really was just the best character in the game. So you start off with 30 rings as opposed to the normal 100, but to make up for it, Super Sonic has all three skill types. So he can grind, he can punch stuff, and he can fly. Plus, with the stats he has, well, you can see just going by normally, he's just blitzing through a lot of the competition here. I will admit I do kind of wish that he kept the Blue Star 2 as opposed to the Blue Star 1. It just feels weird for him to have this. Also, yeah, that's his dash. Similar to Knight's, but honestly I think I prefer it. The reason I prefer to pick Metal City for this is simply because that 100 ring box is actually kind of easy to get, where you're not weighed down by a comical ball and chain. Also, I love his little posing he does while he's actually on the board here, when he has his arms outstretched. It really is just sort of like... really that sort of showcasing of power. Also, all his trick names get changed from blue to golden, which... yeah, checks out. So instead of Blue Sky, we got Golden Sky. Instead of Blue Twister, we get Golden Twister. That sort of thing. Also, I completely missed that capsule all 3 times. No matter though, we're not in second place anymore. We can just sort of race right through this. So yeah, because of the ring count, needless to say, whilst Super Sonic definitely is powerful, he's definitely not the go-to ultimate character in the game like that he was in Sonic 1. I mean, he is definitely the ultimate character, but there's a little bit of an asterisk next to that. Still definitely one of the cooler characters, though. And with that, I think that's everything I wanted to cover for Riders. I'll put out a poll a little bit later to see where we go next with this, but I think there's a particular mod of this which has now become my definitive way to play for it. I'd love to showcase it, but I'd have to figure out how exactly to go about it. But until then, I'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Bye-bye.